All right, YouTube, are you actually receiving video or are you lying? I'm getting the vibe that it was lying. All right, can't be playing that out. All right, so listen, I can never decide what to play, and it'll be like, oh, I don't want to set up my VR of the room because I have projects going, right? Hey, nobody's here, but it's okay. Yo, so okay, I can never figure out what to play, right? I have like this weird never figure out what I want to play. And I own 1,034 games installed locally. 142 VR games. Another 791. Yeah, I have too many games. Too many games? This exists. Game Gauntlet. What this does is it's going to pick 16 games out of my library. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll it. Check out the description. Then I'm going to attempt to marathon it. Start to finish. Play it. That's the goal. Give it a minute. All right. Let's give it a roll. Dungeons 3. Dungeon Lord is back, and this time he's serious. In Dungeons 2, blah, 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 blah. The underworld. What is happening? Hang on. So it's like Overlord? You control the mighty Dungeon Lord, craft a network of terrifying dungeons. Combine actions. Go above ground to wage war on the Oh, it's like a RTS? 167 GP. It's made by Calypso. Pretty good.
Peggy 12.
After years of lurching in the dungeons, after years of digging in the dirt, the time has come to take it to the next level. Build your dungeon.
Uh-oh.
Raise your army. Stand your ground. And take theirs.
Okay.
Dungeons 2. Coming April 20.
Wait, this picked Dungeons 2? Oh. What's different? Apparently I have all of them. That's the same. I guess we're checking out Dungeons 2015. Hero! No. Need, I said I need it. Right. Oh no, my desktop. It's filled with games. Oh, why is it here? Actually kind of quiet.
It was time. The troops of the Absolute Evil had driven the Alliance back to their capital, King's Ending. The time for the final battle had arrived. Prepare to destroy the Alliance, and with it, all good in the land once and for all.
Good in the land. What is the
Once
matter
upon a
of-
time, there was a kingdom full of flowers and rainbows, where the sun shone all the time, and there was loads of that goody-goody, lovey-dovey good people stuff going on. There, the alliance of abominably good people lived in unearned wealth and prosperity. But
So they
there
were
was a
social.
path leading to a different place there. At the end of this path was a rock. There was a cave carved in this rock in which the Absolute Evil lived. It wasn't a grubby, damp cave smelling of muck and mildew, but a deep, dark dungeon, so dark that even darkness itself was afraid of it. It was home to numerous innocent monsters who
What
enjoyed
the
a
hell?
happy, contented existence, living in complete harmony with their environment. But time and again, the sickening, sweet-smelling good visited this underworld in search of treasure and experience points. Many monsters found this to be the death of them, but much worse, the Absolute Evil's treasures were being stolen. One day, just as a few more heroes had finished plundering its dungeon, the absolute evil decided it had had enough and decided to do something new, something quite monstrous. Go to the surface. The Alliance tried to resist, but the approaching horde just flowed over them like an angry wave of axes, teeth, and bad breath. After numerous unrelenting battles, the absolute evil finally stood before the Alliance's capital, King's Ending.
So I'm like gonna be ruling over the land already?
Yes, Ian, that's why you play the first one.
After countless battles, the forces of the absolute evil reached the Alliance capital, King's Ending. The laughable remnants of the forces of good had come here to make ready for the final battle. Evil would pay a high price indeed to storm those fortress walls, or so they thought. Suddenly, a rumble rose from deep within the earth. Stones burst asunder, revealing an ancient path into the depths. Out of the depth of Stygian darkness arises the invincible evil. With earth-shaking steps, the unstoppable evil began its trek towards the front. In the terribly improbable event that it may have forgotten how that works, a formidable help function has been provided. The presence of the absolute evil was also reflected in the land itself. Grass withered, and in places the ground tore open to reveal bubbling lava. I said, with earth-shaking steps, the unstoppable, if somewhat sluggish evil began its trek towards the front.
My bad, I'm going.
Even the forest could not withstand the horror of the ultimate evil and beat a hasty retreat.
Kind of neat. I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate this. Cool.
A few of the Alliance units had entrenched themselves here. A determined absolute evil marched towards them in order to strike them down with its mighty weapon.
This be the whole game?
The absolute evil had discovered a medal. These legendary awards ensured a creature could be made even more powerful. Only one downside, the creature would only wear one at a time. Eyes ablaze with greed, the insidious evil gazed upon the blood-drenched battlefield. Here the last defenders of good would die, and an age of evil begin. Projectiles from the Alliance's catapults darkened the sky, but the Horde's fighting skills were at their best in darkness, if they survived. The forces of good never had a chance against the absolute evil.
This is kind of squash, ain't it?
Nothing and no one could stop the invincible evil.
I have to break those. Okay.
Absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the west with the greatest of ease. Now, only one tiny camp offers any resistance to the absurdly evil evil.
absurdly
That
evil of
will be able to hold out for much longer.
I am taking damage.
Absolute evil strode like a war god through the defenders' ranks and smote them with ease to the ground.
Damn, oh my god.
Absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the east with the greatest of ease. The defenders in front of the city had been beaten to a pulp and defeated. Now the time had come to attack King's Ending, the final battle beckoned.
I don't think I can get over here.
But what's this? The wicked evil was hesitating, rather than taking the fastest route to the city gate. Did it want to keep the defenders shaking in their boots with fear? The city gate was firmly barricaded by the Alliance's archers, but the absolute evil would not allow itself to be held up by such a ridiculous impediment. So, go get them! Destroy them now! Ha 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 ha! Oh yes, sorry, stay in character. The absolute evil used its all-powerful magic to eliminate the archers and open the gate to the city. Using its legend of, wait for it, dairy powers, the absolute evil destroyed the impediment with ease and
Dairy?
simultaneously eliminated a whole group of defenders. The road to the capital was now clear. The absolute evil did not hesitate for even 1 nanosecond.
Hesitating.
Actually, the cowardly evil did hesitate. What would have waited in the insidious evil entered King's Ending. A small, pitiful group of defenders stood in its way. Suddenly, the doors of several houses in the city opened, and with a loud roar, defenders bore down on the rather surprised evil. An ambush.
Didn't really work out for him, though. Guessing these work as like respawners. Yeah, it's not really working out for them. I don't think it's supposed to. It just is too big a thing on.
The invincible evil had crushed the defenders. King's Ending had been defeated. At least, that's what it thought. Suddenly, the final heroes of the Alliance emerged from nowhere. Another ambush? Now, this was becoming very boring. But wait, this time it was different. Instead, the heroes raised their hands and started singing an incomprehensible chant. A magical ritual? This did not bode well. Well, actually, it bode the arrival of good things, great things, unless you happen to be the absolute evil. Somewhere in the depths of the dungeon, the ultimate evil of... The last remaining heroes of the country joined forces and cast a powerful banishment spell. The absolute evil disappeared from sight with a threatening gesture, and a faint whispered, "I'll be back," could be heard coming from its lips. The absolute evil had been banished, and its essence shattered into several pieces. Its reign of terror had ended. The good people of the overworld rejoiced, and an era of peace began for the Alliance. The evil creatures were driven back into the underground. doomed to serve as cannon fodder for pleasure-seeking
Cannon
adventurers.
fodder.
Meanwhile, secreted away in the world's most inaccessible places, the last remains of the absolute evil were rescued,
The Lord of the Rings ring.
never again to see the light of the overworld. Until today, that is. Somewhere deep under the earth, the ultimate evil awoke.
I'm gonna say something kind of blasphemous. This kind of feels like it was supposed to be a mobile game, and that's not an insult. I wouldn't be surprised if this does work on mobile or has a mobile port. Not bad. I play mobile games pretty frequently.
And the hand of terror arose, controlled by the ultimate evil. Come on, hand of terror, arise, damn you! Methinks that exploring the surrounding area would be a sensible strategy. However, to do this, light would be required. Still not bright enough. An old throne room was revealed by the light. The circumstances remained a mystery. The hand of terror flew through the throne room, following each and every thought the ultimate evil had. After a few flying sessions, the ultimate evil was able to control the hand with ease. The time had come to call forth creatures who were completely devoted to it and would do its dirty work. Little snots were the dregs of each and every dungeon and spent their time taking care of it. The expansion-mad evil hired one snot on the spot. After very careful consideration, the ultimate evil now decided to recruit a little snot.
How do I take the gold? You know what I mean? Like, how do I put it in my inventory?
The first little snot
it just
appeared.
has to be here.
It was completely ready to work in the dungeon and to crawl in the dust before the ultimate evil. Little snots were important to the ultimate evil because they took care of many important little things, such as excavating new areas. The psionically gifted evil could sense the presence of something important that was buried to the south. It instructed its little snots to dig in that direction. Oh.
How do I do that? Oh.
The little snots still didn't know what they were meant to be doing. At last, the hand of terror marked the area to be excavated.
Okay. We're getting some, like... Oh, 100 gold.
The ultimate
Okay.
evil hesitated a little. Would there be dangers lurking in the south, which it would not yet be able to defeat? He quickly dismissed this idea. After all, it was, after all, the ultimate evil. What could possibly pose a threat to it out there? Except, of course, that group of heroes who had banished it once before.
Yeah, but we're okay now. Is there like a speed up function? Or is this just like...
Good grief. Have you ever played a game? Please select the highlighted area in order for it to be excavated, or look at the help where you will find detailed explanations of what to do.
I've never
Now,
played a game like
move it.
I like this.
little snot made his way to the marked position and began to dig. Behold, the creatures of the overjoyed evil had apparently been much more industrious than it had thought. A great dungeon was revealed behind the wall. Everything was already in place. Doors, traps, a well-filled treasury. Oh, wait, treasury? And where, if you please, is this treasury? Oh well. One can't expect too much of these mindless little snots. First of all, some gold had to be dug out to make space for a treasury to be created. The Hand of Terror swiftly marked a few small gold veins so that the little snots could excavate them.
Oh, okay. We gave us a whole bunch of them anyway. Nice. Are they turning them into power? How long do these veins last? Guess we'll find out, won't we? I like chill games like this though, where you don't have to do too much. You can just relax, hang out. Look at all this case stuff. That's all. Noddle, snop, snuzzle, sniffles. Nausy, snopsy, snark. Love it. Oh. 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 Now we're mining this then. Ah, you see, these are destroyable. Maybe they're like grand gold or something.
As soon as the gold vein was selected, a little snot immediately set out to mine valuable gold for the greedy evil. Once most of the gold had been mined, the Hand of Terror quickly created a treasury on the spot so that the precious metal could be safely stored.
Treasure.
The clever evil mastered this task with flying colors. From now on, little snots could use the treasury to store mined gold. It was then at the greedy evil's disposal whenever more rooms needed to be built or new creatures recruited. Little snots were all well and good, but were too weak and cowardly to defend the dungeon. Since it was not able to defend itself, the ultimate evil would have to hire some orcs. But they would require food. Liquid food. Well, beer to be precise. So the next important thing to build was a brewery. And that would require some space to be created. The ultimate evil had the feeling that its servants were not really putting their backs into the work. Might a hearty slap from the Hand of Terror change that? The sadistic evil encouraged its creature to work a little faster, with a friendly but not at all gentle snap.
Kind of cool that you'd like build it up like this.
The little snots found a healing potion in a hidden room. This was able to restore one of the ultimate evil's creatures to full health.
Not where I want the treasury. Do I want wide open? Wide open spaces.
There was now an area cleared for the brewery site, and with quick finger snaps from the hand of terror, the room stood ready. Excellent. But the recently built brewery lacked a brewing copper. With a sigh of resignation, the overworked evil set about taking care of that too.
Where do I get those?
Oh. Oh.
Ah, here we go.
The hard-working evil effortlessly built a brewing copper so that delicious beer could be brewed as soon as possible. One of the little snots started working on the brewing copper. The nostalgic evil banished all thoughts of Oktoberfest and brass bands. Those would have to wait. More important tasks had to be completed first. Both beer and gold were now available in the dungeon, so it was time to hire some creatures to defend against greedy heroes or whatever else snuck around underground. At present, it was only simple orcs declaring undying loyalty to the ultimate evil. The rest of the horde was scattered to the winds. Orcs were defensive close combat specialists, capable of dealing with many opponents. However, they were very vulnerable to ranged attacks. The dungeon of the expansion-mad evil grew and prospered, but unfortunately, it had reached the maximum possible population it could currently manage. Now a creature would have to be thrown into the bottomless pit before any others could be brought in. Payday! An eerie gong rang through the halls. It did not bode well for the ultimate evil's treasury stocks, for at each sounding of the gong, the creatures would collect their undeserved wages. However, there was little it could do about this, as it was chained to the throne. Thus it had to give free rein to its servants' desires. For the time being, at least. Nameless evil creatures came upon a spider's nest during their search for an entrance to the overworld. It would take more than one orc to smoke that out. The abysmal evil used the Hand of Terror to grab several of the creatures that were still completely inexperienced at fighting and threw them onto the spider's nest. Oh. The cowardly evil was still hesitant to pick up its creatures and throw them onto the fight. Was there no other way? Could this not be resolved peacefully? Is it not true that violence only breeds more violence? Instead, the peaceful evil now planned to get its troops to make daisy chains. But flowers only grow in the overworld, and for that, it had to go past the spiders. The ultimate evil had not yet picked up any of its creatures, because it was actually somewhat disgusted by the orcs. Unsurprising, really, as cleanliness was a foreign concept for orcs. Suddenly, one of the repellent evil's servants became very thirsty. This was typical of a troop member of the unanonymous alcoholics known as the Horde. The Dipso made his way to the nearest brewery to quench his thirst. A thirsty orc arrived at the brewery. Eager and slavering, he started demolishing the alcohol-hoarding evil's stock of beer.
Howdy doody.
Hey,
Brad.
I sent you that link. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Using
The weird
a roulette wheel to figure out what I'm streaming.
You're doing it's the Markiplier method.
Yep. Hey, when it works, it works. That's exactly what I'm doing. Doing it.
Dungeons 2.0.
Like a reverse RTS, I guess?
How the what the fuck did you just say?
You're evil instead of good. You do the evil do's.
So a morally reverse RTS, okay.
I love morally reversed things.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Shout out to being morally reversed. I'll be back. I gotta go.
Like Donkey Kong.
Oh my god.
The spiders dropped like flies. The strategically well-versed evil patted itself on the back, proud that it had led its troops into battle with such aplomb. And by led, I just simply mean chucking them at the enemy. The basics of a dungeon were now in place. However, the brewery was puny and didn't really have room to store beer barrels in, and the treasury was also anything but impressive in size. Quickly, the expansion-hungry evil set out to enlarge its dungeon.
The evil has awoken, but its brothers are still asleep.
Huh? What on earth was that? That's not in my script. No matter. We'd better get back to concentrating on the dungeon. The little snots found a healing potion in a hidden room. This was able to restore one of the ultimate evil's creatures to full health.
The old man passed out pretty early.
It's a sleepy day.
He wouldn't need a second Thanksgiving.
That'll do it.
Yep.
I like more orky dude. What are they doing?
It's payday.
I don't hate this game.
Shoutouts to the wheel.
Right? Wheel of selection. I'm doing it the Markiplier way. That's so funny to me.
The snail-like evil was slow. So very slow. It took
That
almost
Unisonus video was pretty weird,
one
huh?
tiny bit of an orc
I
army.
didn't see it.
Fortunately,
It was the 1 year anniversary from the time it was deleted. It was a whole new Unisonus video. You know, they do the subliminal messaging and hints and shit like that. They faded out with the clock ticking in the box.
Doing all he could to speed up the process.
Very.
A huge monstrosity
Yeah.
loomed out of the darkness on
More
8
Unisonus.
legs. This dungeon's human guards had been ancient history for a
Yeah,
long
it's
while.
exciting.
Now it was home to a huge spider and
You can tell he's been building
Would
up to
Sam
it all
and
year.
Frodo
After
escape it and
Markiplier in
continue
Space
their
gets
journey
done,
to
they're going to
Mount
do
Doom, or was this
Unisonus
the end
2.0
of
and
the
it's going to be sweet.
Ring-Bearer?
You're streaming.
Hang on a minute, that's
I
not
am
what
streaming.
Where were we? Oh yes, a huge spider.
I didn't know
henceforth
that.
Called the Spider Queen.
Why?
It would be necessary
Because
to
I
eliminate
just
the
got
Spider
on
Queen
YouTube,
before the
Gonk.
horde could reach the surface. The Spider Queen sent
I
forth a wave of her
see.
children. Of
Yeah.
course, the ultimate evil was fully aware of this danger.
By
and
just
immediately
doing it.
prepared to
Oh,
defend itself
nice.
against them.
Yeah.
No. That's still.
One louse
This looks
infested
cool.
orc crawled up from the dead
I kinda dig
and
it.
declared allegiance to
It's
the
funny.
ultimate evil.
It's got the voice
The
actor
first
from
step towards the creation of a powerful army.
what's it
You remember
called?
you remember OG Dungeon
hang on,
Keeper?
hang on.
Had had enough of dungeon
Hang on.
sightseeing and now wanted
It
to
was
move
a
to the surface to try a dish that
Gmod,
is best served cold. Revenge. Some
Stanley's
alliance
Parable.
members were bound to be
Oh, the
guarding
narrator?
enemies to
Yeah.
the overworld.
Stanley's Parable.
Oh, dude. Very do.
Evil.
Although I don't really know 100% what I'm doing.
As I said, it kind of reminds me of the original Dungeon Keeper a little bit. I don't know if you ever played those.
And another wave of spiders set out
Not
to
like the
destroy
shitty mobile phone
ultimate evil.
Dungeon Keeper that came out a couple years ago. The old Windows 98 Dungeon Keeper.
Nice to pick up multiple guys. I'm not supposed to be able to pick them up? The dungeon what?
Dungeon Keeper.
I have Legend of Keepers.
That's not quite... Man, that is disappointing. You ought to play Garu Mark of the Wolves with me.
I think I need
It's
to
a-
play Kill the Goddamn Queen now.
You fucking play fighting games with me.
Die. I can't right now. I'm
I gotta
recording
find-
a video.
I know. I need to find literally anyone to play fighting games with
One
me.
of the creatures come
I
up with a
love
plan
fighting
to
games.
create a trade
Not that I
union
wouldn't.
and go on strike for better.
I always
working
feel when I
conditions.
walk into a fighting game like it's an
Once he
unfair
remembered
matchup. That's why I
exactly
ask
what the
people
ultimate
like you.
evil would do to him. The idea
have
was
world
quickly
records.
shelved.
Yeah, because you actually have skill, and I'm like, man, I feel so bad just like owning somebody
Spider
who's
Queen again
probably
sent her
not
children
sunk
out to
near as
attack the
much
dungeon,
time into it as
even
I
though
have.
this tactic had failed the last time. A certain
Like when I
AI
play Smash, I
programmer
always
could
feel
really
bad
have
for
made a bit
fucking it
more
up
of
in
an effort with
Smash.
this.
Don't feel bad.
Get glad.
Ultra bags.
Sponsored by generic sponsorship.
This video is brought to you by Rainbows and Sunshine.
This video is brought to you by shaving your balls.
Yeah, the Harry's
Yeah.
razors. I'm so confuzzled. What am I doing?
You're playing something. This is spiders? Are spiders like eating your orcs right now?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Well, you get all this room, but you only get so many population points. But I'm supposed to be able to expand it, but I don't know how. Oh, I can do that.
Neat.
The vile perversion,
I did
once
it.
called the Spider Queen, had nothing more with which she could fight the Horde.
Perversion.
Later, the sensitive evil would have her innards made into a lava lamp. The way to the surface was open. Now
What?
it was time to put those vengeance plans into practice. The vile evil wanted to take this opportunity to utter a really sinister laugh. But unfortunately, its physical state made this unviable. Instead, it asked the narrator to do a bit of sinister laughter on its behalf. Oh well, here goes. Deep breath.
Dude, I don't know if that really is the
Once
guy,
the
same
ultimate
guy,
evil
but
had
if it
escaped
is, I
from the
love it.
depths, still fettered to the throne, it traveled to wreak terrible vengeance on those who had done this, heavily supported by its little snots. The first target was Paladin Robert, now King of the Alliance. He had withdrawn.
I'll do one more, guys. I'm gonna have to say I recommend this game. Like, if you're into like weird comedy and parables, this is a good one.
I dig the art.
Yeah, I do like the art as well. Kind of cutesy, but at the same time, it's got that Overlord feel.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Overlord, underappreciated
According
hack
to
and
scouts,
slash title.
King Robert spent most of
Hack
his
and
time
slash.
strolling around his
The
hunting
original
lodge
Overlord
garden,
was like half
reciting
hack and
poetry.
slash, half RTS.
Soon his poetry would
Yeah,
turn
that's
into
true.
mournful ballads. The vengeful evil thirsted to defeat the Alliance's king and mount his head on the wall as a trophy. Whoops, of course, I really mean that he wanted to take all of King Robert's cookies away.
Kind of like Brutal Legend.
Or the age
Actually, now that I think about it.
will be after me.
Brutal Legend is just
Classification.
Overlord.
Ultimate
Jack
Evil
Black
had to do a
game.
bit of work on the dungeon.
Oh.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to fund even a small army made up of a
comedy is
few
on point.
orcs. The warmongering evil had hired the first orc. As ancient wisdom says, violence is a solution, usually the only one.
Violence is a solution.
Best advice from any game ever.
It's the only solution.
One of Doom 2016's best loading screens. Shoot it until it dies.
Yep. Having trouble? Shoot it. Or do the shoot.
Rip and tear until it is done.
Oh, that's a good franchise right there. That's one that I recommend all day, baby. Which gold do I have? 300 buckos?
The steady pounding in the rocks had given rise to overworld rumors of a new dungeon. A group of heroes set out to plunder its riches, and the ultimate evil was already looking forward to this visit.
Oh my god. If this is the dude that did Stanley Parable, GG. So good.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
There are
Right
enemies.
now, the restricted evil was only able to call upon orcs and little
Oh, it's
snots.
got like...
But there had been rumors that some goblins were hiding out in a cave somewhere close by. The exploratory evil would be sure to find. Another orc entered the service of the military-savvy evil. The horde was growing and prospering.
Defend me, ye orc boy. They're doing it. They're defending me. Look at me go. I did it.
Dang.
The heroes didn't know what had hit them, as several orcs bore down from nowhere and annihilated them. This group of heroes had plundered their last dungeon, but there would be more.
No plundering my dungeon.
The strategy guidebook, Dungeons for Dummies, says mountains don't always just consist of rocks and stone, but may also include natural as well as artificial caves and rooms. These usually contain treasures and dangers to make digging around underground more exciting.
Oh, that's right. I need to build a treasury. I forget. I did the do forget. His name's Snod. His name is Snip.
The time to attack appeared to be right.
Oh, this is my
On the
boy
surface,
Snod.
In the tavern of a small, miserable village, some adventurers gathered. They were acquiring Dutch courage for their visit to the dungeon by downing several beers. The dungeon
Dutch
had to be
courage.
destroyed.
Can I like build traps?
The ultimate
Probably
evil
will
should never forget
later
to keep
on.
a watchful eye on its beer and gold stores. If its creatures can't help themselves whenever the first brewery was completed, soon beer would be flowing like a river, and an Oktoberfest atmosphere would pervade all. Would the ultimate evil put the beer baron out of business? Ugh, such a duff reference.
Wow. It is referenced the beer baron. He's like, wow, what a daft reference. And I was like, yeah. Yeah. It is. Now, how do I...
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Got it. Where are the enemies?
The ultimate evil slowly made itself cozy underground. Although this was a sensible decision, there was a large and lovely overworld out there, just waiting to be destroyed.
He's talking about going to the overworld. You're stuck in the dungeon.
It's payday.
Hey, you know, sometimes you just gotta hang out on the overworld to escape all that dungeon. Hey.
Yeah, sometimes I don't want to go to the dungeon, you know?
Yeah,
Sometimes I
yeah,
just want to hang out in the overworld.
yeah. Go listen to that sweet overworld music.
Yeah, the Undertale theme song.
Zelda 2 theme song.
My favorite.
The Adventure of Lonk.
Oh, long.
Yeah, Lonk. He's the only hero.
He's a lonk boy.
Yeah. Lonk boy, stronk boy.
the orcs, they don't do anything. They just go straight to the brewery and are just like, I'm gonna work on the brewery. Like, no, stop. You need to work on other things.
Freaking orcs only wanting beer.
The first treasury was completed. Soon Greedy Evil's little snots would fill it with gold.
Listen, you can't let your employees work on the job, drink on the job. That's just unprofessional.
I didn't make the rules.
You gotta get them your orcs in line, my guy.
I need to start running this like Jeff Bezos.
How do you dungeon properly if not for lined up orcs?
I need to run this business like Linus Tech Tips.
Yeah, you line them up like Linus.
We need to make YouTube videos for currency. Acquire currency. Come to my Dungeon 3 convention. We play Minecraft. Everybody loves Minecraft. Uh-oh, what do we got here? Booter Cave. Booter Cave. You want to hear something kind of sad? I don't know how to use it. Oh, it worked. I figured it out, and I lied. I'm such a genius. I'm learning.
Wow, he's figuring out how to do the dungeon.
Entered the dungeon.
I'm the ultimate dungeon boy now.
It'll only be a matter of time before you're the ultimate dungeon boy, Giga Boy.
Giga dungeon.
You gotta build the ultimate Giga dungeon.
I'm not playing sandbox, I'm playing campaign. Although sandbox would be super cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'm a gamer, I can do that. Let's just build way out here. Yeah. Same thing with my downward path here. Hey. That's not good. Wait, can I just like... Whoa! I'm on the overworld.
Is it just me, or does that delete look strangely like the Xbox logo? Right, the pickaxe icon when you hover your mouse over rocks you can crumble.
I honestly didn't notice.
It kind of looks like the Xbox logo a little bit.
Orc, go murder the pig. Dead.
Payday.
How did I do that? Oh. Very do.
Very do.
There's like an RPG element too. This game is sweet.
The wheel. The wheel.
Still in the sky.
The wheel in my eyes is my eyes. Are my corneas.
Wow. Corny joke, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm the star pupil.
Chris. I'm out of coffee. My god, they respawn. Why are you just standing here? Quickly, murder. Why are you doing push-ups? Quickly, do the murder. Murder them. With murderous intent.
A delicious rumble announced the fact that the village's last house had crashed to the ground. Ha! There would be no more heroes meeting there to seek out the dungeon of the destruction-hungry evil. The hunting lodge of King Robert lay in the north. It was there that the ultimate evil would finally get its long-awaited revenge. However, it looked pretty damn well guarded. Maybe it should first visit the cave to the west, inhabited by a clan of goblins, where the cunning evil could do a little negotiating.
Oh, there's like other villains and stuff that you can go find. Ends up being like a multiplayer aspect and nobody's playing.
Yeah, that would be sweet. Find a good multiplayer game to introduce people to. Spread the word.
Words.
I would play this.
Then play it.
Not this very second, but I would play this.
No. Now. It's too late. It's all ogres. No. See what I did there? Didn't I find like a health potion or something? Thought I did.
Who needs health potions when you can just die?
I love that.
Yeah,
Favorite.
me too. Same.
We did it. Oh, there's little like healthy books. Very cool. When you're in the overworld, the Stanley Parable guy just sends random things, but he sounds like he's really off in the distance.
The goblin leader prostrated himself joyfully before the ultimate evil and immediately dispatched 2 goblins into its dungeon with a few plans for a new room, a tinkerer's cave. This was built as quickly as possible.
Oh, they're already in my dungeon. Very do.
Very do.
One might say ultimate do
Man, that
spin.
Enemies
dungeon
have
is
entered the
looking
dungeon.
ship shape.
Tip top.
Yeah, very clean dungeon.
One might say dungeony.
Yeah. So some people like a murky dungeon, but yours,
It's
very good
payday.
dungeon. Organized dungeon.
It's a dungeon of dungeon-tude.
Yeah.
If there was a tude, it would be this dungeon. You know?
Yeah.
Those sheep randomly died.
The throne room is under attack. A rat's nest has been unearthed.
A throne room is on? What?
Once your dungeon throne.
Okay,
It'll
I'm rich.
probably slip the ultimate evil's mind, but a new room is at its disposal. After it recalls
solution to
that,
life's
it immediately set about
problems.
building the room.
Okay, it has all of the money.
Yeah.
All your money now belong to me.
The Tinkerer's Cave was built. It could, however, only be used as a warehouse, as it lacked the workshop that the insidious evil's goblins needed. Quick as a flash, Evil placed a creator mat in the Tinkerer's Cave. A sparkling new creator mat graced the Tinkerer's Cave of the expansion.
Researching
A
traps?
goblin would be able to work well in here, producing toolboxes.
Very
A few
good.
of these boxes would now be needed in order to invent a trap. The moody Evil waited patiently.
I'm moody evil now. Did it. I killed those dead.
The throne room is under attack.
What? Attacking my throne?
Man, you just can't catch a break.
Kinda dig it.
You've been playing for 69 minutes.
Yeah, I dig it. My name is Gunak the Abstinent. I will not sleep with you. I abstain. Ooh, exploding treasure chests. Very ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. I will not beat you to death inside of this room. Yes, this is part of the game.
Damn.
As cowardly as the goblins were, their creativity more than made up for this. They proudly presented the treacherous evil with their plan for a devious trap. With a silent, evil cackle, it quickly buckled down to setting the trap.
I can now set traps. Oof. All I ever wanted. Like, name two things. Oh. They have to be manufactured. Interesting. Right?
Yeah. Look at all of those corridors. Man.
Now I have a way of protecting my covers.
Yeah.
Payday.
Oh, it's payday. Look, he's exploring. Get it? His name's Thulak the Explorer. I have to wait for these to be finished being built. Wham, wham. Get it, Shrek.
Job done. The trap was finished and ready to be found by a hero. This is going to be so much fun. Just at that moment, a particularly powerful dwarf warrior appeared in the dungeon.
Just at that moment,
at
a
this precise
particularly
time was indeed most
powerful
odd, but his presence was
warrior
more
appeared.
than welcome. He was going to be a guinea pig for the trap.
Particularly powerful.
Trap's done.
Even this strong dwarf warrior didn't stand a chance against the treacherous traps and powerful monsters of the invincible evil. He bit the dust.
He bit the disc.
So much for a game of dwarves. The dungeon's defenses were now clearly much improved, but the hunting lodge still remained well protected and impregnable. There was nothing that the ultimate evil could do. The task was impossible. So the evil withdrew, bent and broken, let feelings of revenge ebb away, and instead took up looking after those cute, teeny-weeny trees. What are they called again?
Bonsai.
Yes, that's it. The end. Pretty unsatisfactory, huh? Of course, that wasn't the end. In reality, the indefatigable evil paid the Goblin Cave another little visit. The Goblin leader would hopefully spit out something useful after a few more slaps.
I have to go beat up the Goblin King. That is canon. By the way, there's a new one of these games. Goblin, or the third one just came out.
The expansion-driven evil couldn't wait to explore the further possibilities of the Tinkerer's Cave. In particular, a hospital seemed a useful way to cure its ailing units. It set about asking for this to be researched.
research it. Okay, so there's like research. Search new. Nice. Very, do.
Very dungeon medicine. Check in at your local dungeon hospital.
Shout out to your local dungeon hospital.
It did take a
for being
while, but the
dungeon-y.
horde eventually
Yeah.
set out to talk to the leader of the goblins again.
They've got every modern medicine you could ask for, like pickaxe
The horde
therapy.
came across a stray goblin by the roadside, who
And that's it.
apparently constituted the sad remains of one of the hunting lodge's attack units. This
Come to my
miserable
dungeon, we
being
have
joined the
amenities.
army of the powerful evil with a grateful whimper.
Yeah, join my army. Go. I would love for you to join my army. I did it. I'm the best.
He's done it.
Deal with it.
He's dungeoned.
Children of arms, wear thine power. Going back outside, boy, because you're gonna go get that a health potion. Do it. Go. No! He's gonna do the dash. We gotta go. How do I go inside of that dungeon? Flee, ye goblin boy. How do I... They're going to attack my home. Can't have that.
Although I have made myself perfectly clear, someone has persistently refused to follow my story. Instead of handling the whole goblin and castle thing, it seems the one in charge was busy handling something else.
The game bitches at you if you're not fast enough. It's like, hey, why don't you like go do the thing I told you to do? It's like, oh, I'm busy. No.
How dare you be busy? There's instructions.
Healed up now. Gives me like Overlord plus like Age of Empire vibes. Dig it. I do dig. Murder. Commit murder.
A few hard slaps were enough to motivate the leader of the goblins to help the ultimate evil. As it transpired, there was an old tunnel which had been previously used as an escape route. This connected the goblin cave with the vaults of the hunting lodge. The goblin leader voluntarily made a goblin assassin available to the hard-hitting evil to help infiltrate the lodge.
I went and threatened the king, and he's like, listen, I'll give you an assassin. I'll leave. I was like, okay.
Fair trade. 2 o'clock, I can finally take my weights off.
Nice.
Nice.
That means it just hit 10 o'clock for me. It do be the late.
They do be late, though. Yeah.
Oh. It's that guy. His name would be like Chris or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Who am I to know? Name. What am I discovering right now? Did we ever finish researching the hospital? Oh, okay.
Who needs it?
What is this game?
Dungeons 2. Dungeoning.
He's dungeoning like a bro.
I really am.
Oh, this game. I remember. Okay, yeah.
I dig it. You get it? I dig it.
And die.
Wow. Darkness. Imprisoning me. All I see. Absolute.
Gonker.
The charitable had researched the hospital.
I got a hospital.
This would enable its units to quickly recover from their injuries, once it had been built, that is. The caring evil had good-naturedly built a hospital for its suffering creatures. It, however, still lacked a hospital bed. Little Snots would then bring any units there that had been injured in the dungeon.
I need more gold.
Oh, Red.
Yeah.
I watched the entirety of Hitmonkey.
Why would you do that?
Because it's the only thing similar to Fish Sass.
A little Snot is secretly
Yeah,
making
but
jokes about the
you
ultimate
could be so
evil
much better
behind
than
its
that.
back. You should
Yeah.
punish it, but I forgot which one it was.
But
They just all
you
look the
gotta
same.
know what you're going up against. Surprisingly, it was very well written.
I mean, it's a Marvel movie.
Ew, Marvel movies.
It was a show.
It's just a Marvel movie, the cartoon.
Marvel movies are just Dragon Ball Z with extra steps.
I'd rather watch Dragon Ball Z.
Who wouldn't? Wrong people? Got 'em.
Dang. How could we be so wrong? Chris, did you listen to something about a Ghost director's cut?
You mean the one without the fucking weird ass static shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
GG.
Payday.
Is that gonna be your calling card now? Weird ass static shit.
No.
Red, check out the game Inscription.
Inscription.
Yeah, I've seen that. The card game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks very, what one might say, of the doist of nature.
The only card game I've ever really loved was Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
This is Minecraft.
That's... no, stop. Cards are not blocks.
Yes, they are. They're just
No.
flat or regular blocks.
No, stop. No.
Yeah. Cards are squished blocks.
Paper is a flat block.
Can't prove me wrong, can you?
Oh my god.
Speaking of block, Red, are you familiar with Square?
Yeah.
The payment process? Yeah, they've changed their name.
Bears.
Oh.
They changed their name to Cube.
Oh.
Nice.
They added some more dimension.
Yeah. Because Jack Dorsey was basically forced to step. Oh, I'm sorry, not Cube, Block.
Improve thine rooms. Haha, attack me now. I have the treasure.
Nice.
Actually, I only have 75 gold. I am poor.
Not so nice.
I lied. You gotta balance your population with getting gold and stuff. So you like these guys can't attack. They only collect gold. That's their whole purpose. They're constructory creatures. We really need hospital beds. Why can't I build like an apartment and just be like, yeah, more characters, let's go. What are you doing?
The cheerful evil was pleased with this support. An assassin was a decent melee fighter, but its actual strength lay in its ability to make itself invisible. This was, of course, tested out immediately.
I go invisible and assassinate people. Let's go.
Despite the powerful invisibility skill, it was advisable for the ultimate evil to be cautious. Some opponents had such highly trained observation
bard.
skills that they were actually able to see invisible units.
Look, Chris, it's a bard.
Wow.
You love bards.
A locked
I
door
do love
prevented the
bards.
assassin
I
from progressing.
do.
It would have taken a long time for him to have opened it with sheer brute force using weaponry. Thankfully, he had a suitable skill with which he could deactivate doors, and more importantly, traps.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I can operate 2 different YouTube accounts with 2 different tabs in the same browser.
Are.
A legend.
Oh.
The on-the-ball evil recognized that the warrior princess there was extremely powerful. The goblin assassin would be best advised to avoid any contact with her.
They just told me that the warrior princess was super powerful. I killed her immediately. What a gonk game.
The first hospital bed had been built. Wounded units could now be healed in the hospital. Little Snots would also be able to bring defeated creatures here so that they could be nursed back to health.
Yeah, this is so awesome. Murder, chaos, destruction.
Payday! A Gobobot was being forced to make miserable repairs in the lodge. A brief feeling of what it thought might be sympathy passed through the sensitive evil, but this actually turned out to be a
I'm listening to Tank from Cowboy
It would
Bebop and
free
watching
the
your orc
useful
fight
Gobbo
that
bot
thing.
anyway.
So good. You can just say the name of the band, my friend.
Elated by the assassin's attempt at
Pillows.
rescuing it, the Gobbo bot
Oh,
joined
yeah.
the horde and
Pillows, sorry,
succeeded in
it's
showing its tormentors a real
seat
hot
belts,
time.
isn't
Their
it?
ability
No, that's
to more or
Rush.
less ignore range damage and set fire to large areas would
Oh, now
come
you
in
got me
very
confused.
handy.
It's the seatbelts.
Yes. The pillows are FLCL.
And so the negligent evil promptly allowed the only really vital unit to this mission to die. The goblin leader sighed and put his second best assassin at evil's disposal at the basement exit. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Yeah.
I think I can beat. That's like playing. What am I doing now?
You're dungeoning on the overworld now.
And them up top.
It was only a matter of time before you were dungeoning with the best of them.
I was always a dungeoneer.
He was always a dungeony boy.
Oh, I just have to destroy this. Yeah, fuck your building! Yeah, get him! Burn it down!
The hunting lodge was completely destroyed. The vengeful evil gave itself a very self-satisfied pat on the back. The time was right to concentrate on King Robert. He was in his renowned garden reciting his much less renowned love poems. The lyrically challenged evil had no time for poetry and would soon make this
The
tangibly
lyrically
clear to him.
challenged.
Guys, don't make fun of him. He's a lyrically challenged bard.
So dumb. Just leave him be. You don't know nothing.
He can't speak. He can only pluck the thing.
I love plucking things.
Yeah. The loot.
Whoa. The loot? I'm a dungeon boy.
Pluck the loot.
I'm a dungeon boy.
He's a lungeon dungeon.
Make thine bed. I have a bunch of characters that need like healing. Then I'm gonna go murder a king. Let's go. Do they auto go to here? Yes. Nice. You love children. Name a video game that is good. Go on. That's what I thought. There are no good games. Heal thy body. Now I can. Take all of the squad. Wait.
When? You got a dungeon squad. Bruh, he be a dungeon squadding out here.
I'm a dungeon boy. Just trying to make it. Have you seen any of their concerts?
No.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So bad. Boot off stage. Stick the song clown.
That's unfortunate.
The king was accompanied by a pixie who was able to cast powerful healing magic. Any direct attack would be suicidal. Mercifully, the omniscient and helpful narrator was at hand. he pointed out to the impatient evil that the pixie went off from time to time in order to check that all was with the annoying little pixie had spoken her last healing spell. The crafty-minded evil sculpted a fan from hell. Now it was time to look for King
Murdered.
Robert and ensure his early demise. King Robert fell, and the ultimate evil had received its well-deserved revenge. But there were still many more heroes out there who deserved to bite the dust. Their time would come.
I did it.
And
The
look at them
demigod
with their
Protos,
fire.
one of the sniveling cowards who had banished the ultimate evil, had just marched his alliance army
good
out of
game.
the swamplands to fight the snake-like Nagas.
I recommend.
The ultimate evil wanted to teach him the full futility of war by ensuring...
I'm back.
Go play Dungeons 2. Very good.
Really?
Yeah. And it has a bunch of DLCs too.
Oh, dude. What platform is it on?
Steam.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, bye, Cat.